But the problem with that is, now they have to work commercials into their calls. Like, hello, you've reached the Coors Light crisis line. So you're angry because your husband left you for another woman. Well, hey, you can run him over with the new Dodge Ram truck. But I called the crisis line once, and I got voicemail. In which case, they shouldn't call it a crisis line. They should call it a somewhat urgent, but let's not get carried away line. And then the voicemail said, for better service, call back between 5 and 6 a.m. And I'm thinking, I don't know what's worse, being suicidally depressed or having to get up that early in the morning. I mean, I can't even experience self-loathing until I've had my first cup of coffee. And then it says, for more help, go to our website. And on their website it says, make a list of all the things you can do to make yourself feel better when you're in crisis. And I'm thinking, my main thing was to talk to a person! And then, this is fun. And then they get me to take a survey, with questions like, did you find our website easier to navigate than your depression? We use an extra large font so you can see it through your tears. Did you find this to be true? And then get this. Okay, so I take antidepressants and they make my hands shake. But it's not all bad. Last week our blender broke down. But as a guy, so the shaking gets worse every time my wife asks me to do chores. And I thought that meant I would never have to do chores again. But she has found chores where it's good to have shaky hands. Thanks to this medication, I am now the LeBron James of toilet bowl cleaning. And, I try and hide the shaking. It's embarrassing, and I think I'm doing a good job until someone comes to me, how come you have shaky hands? So I'm like, how come you're a bald loser? I even say that to people with hair, and they just get confused and leave me alone. But I want to explain to people why I have shaky hands, but it's hard to just casually work it into a conversation. You might have noticed, I have shaky hands, and I have shaky hands because I take antidepressants, and I'm depressed, so my psychiatrist gives me antidepressants. My depression began when I was 16, but it wasn't diagnosed until my 30s, so I went around for almost 20 years with undiagnosed, untreated depression, during which time I did drugs. I did tons of drugs. I did so many drugs. I thought I was in the band Guns N' Roses for 3 years. And my antidepressants kill my libido, they can't kill my sex drive, so I feel like a loser because I can't have sex, and I feel like I'm not a real man. If I'm not a real man, what's the point? Maybe I should just kill myself and... Oh, sorry, what did you say your name was? But, you have to use the healthcare system. Actually, I should tell you this. So, people are desperate for intimacy. There are people who are called professional cuddlers, right? Of course they're all women, because no one wants to pay $80 to spoon with a Hell's Angel. Hey, Tiny, your beard is giving me a rash. But, so there's professional, and there's actually workplaces that bring in professional cuddlers to give seminars, and I can see that. Okay guys, we didn't meet our sales targets, you know what that means. Yeah, let's all go cuddle in the boardroom. Hey, is it a human rights violation to discriminate against Bill for having BO? And actually there's one workplace, and this is totally true. You can't write comedy this good. Okay, so there's one workplace. They have nude Fridays in order to boost morale. Because nothing boosts morale more than seeing a naked, flabby white guy giving a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to see them. Okay, guys, we got a big client meeting today. Any suggestions? Yeah, how about we put on pants? But my doctor, you can never get in to see him because he runs this anti-aging clinic. So basically, instead of helping people to survive and live, he spends all this time helping rich neurotic people look better. I can just say, "Help! I'm having a stroke." It's okay. The loss of muscle movement will do wonders for the bags under your eyes. And if you die, I can reduce your double chin and give your ass a chemical peel. You will be the most alive person at your funeral. But he also does lip augmentation. And what that is, lip augmentation for a fuller, more noticeable pout. Now, I looked up pout in the dictionary, and it says it's to push your lower lip forward to appear sexually attractive. And I totally get it, because the babes go wild when I do this. They're like, "This guy isn't coming on to us, he's having a stroke." But I'll tell you one last thing before I bring the comics on. So, we're so afraid to laugh in mental health. We're so politically correct. But there is hilarious stuff that happens all the time. Okay, so at one point, true story, one of our comics was in psychosis, thought he was Jesus, okay? And the hospital had him rooming with a guy who thought he was Satan. Okay, you cannot write comedy this good. I can just see the hospital staff, "Bill, you're being non-compliant. You need to stop sharing your meds with those 12 guys who visit you every day." How did we find out? One of them sold you out for 30 tablets of clonazepam. And they're like, "Oh, and Jesus, you need to stop being so judgmental of Satan." And, Jesus is like, "But he is the devil." No, Jesus. We don't use terms like that anymore. We refer to him as angelically challenged. Or Ted Cruz. Thank you. I knew that joke would go over in Austin. I didn't think it. Not the rest of Texas, no. Actually, I usually use Donald Trump as the punchline, and normally I always check it out with the organizer. Is it okay to do a Donald Trump joke? And usually they're like, "Oh, fine, you should do 10 of them. We love it." Well, I was in Casper, Wyoming. Yeah, I think you guys get that. Yeah. So I'm like, "Is it okay if I do it?" And they're like, "No." We're a red state. No. So that was that's not a joke, that's just really sad. I thought I'd bring the show right down before I brought on your first comic. But anyhow, are you folks ready for your first comic? Are you ready? Let's hear it. You can do better than that. Let's hear it. Are you ready for your first comic? Yeah! Please welcome Mary A.
Thank you, David. All right. Hi, folks. Just want to let you know that I've been hospitalized a lot. As a matter of fact, I'm just here on a day pass. Oh, and I'm wearing these clothes because David wouldn't let me come on stage wearing a paper gown and slippers. And it's hard to write a comedy act when you're strapped to a restraint chair. Fortunately, my imaginary friends think I'm hilarious. I can hear them laughing right now. It's too bad some of you aren't. But they really like me at the hospital. As a matter of fact, as soon as I finish, they're going to inject me with Haldol and take me right back. In the hospital, they have this thing called booty juice. And it's really bad for you. Put it this way, if you thought your ass looked fat before the injection, you don't want to see it now. But booty juice sounds like something Kim Kardashian would sell. She injects it into her butt all the time. They inject booty juice to sedate you. And I'm not saying I've been injected a lot, but the last time they pulled down my pants, They mistook my ass for a pincushion. So to inject you with booty juice, they have 3 guys hold you down and stick a syringe in your butt. If I want that, I'll just go on Tinder. But these guys are really rude. At least a Tinder date would spring for a latte at Starbucks. So at one point I got locked in the seclusion room. So I snuck in an expo marker and started writing obscenities all over the walls. As far as I was concerned, I was just being creative. But next month they're gonna give me a show at the Austin Contemporary Art Gallery. One mental health center I was at was for students to come and practice. Too bad they're from the fashion department. Here we go. To overcome your problems, go buy some Chanel evening wear. It's got great with Gucci shoes and a booty juice injection. Oh, and sweetheart, for emergencies, keep some Xanax in your Louis Vuitton handbag. They also had students from the food services department.